Greetings from sunny Cyprus. I'm here today to share my experience with you. My name is Peter and I'm from London, UK. In 2006, I came here on a field trip to have a look at the island, and I fell in love with it. You know, it was an incredibly different place. I'd been to lots of European islands and different places, but found this really unique. But it was also home from home. You know, it was an ex-British colony, and so, you know, we drive on the left-hand side of the road and, you know, this cheap beer. It was very nice, yeah, different. I came over for a couple of visits and was made very welcome by the Cypriot people and the professionals here, and decided to purchase property on behalf of some friends. When you compare prices to the UK or Europe, there's a massive difference in the purchasing price levels. It's about a third of the price, you know, if you compared Spain, for example. So you get a lot more for your money. But the exchange rate also is amazing, you know, 3.6 at the moment to the pound. So you're getting a really big jump on your UK pound value. When I considered coming to the island permanently, because I've been traveling regularly each year since 2006 and loved it, a lot of factors came into my thoughts. You know, over 300 days a year of sunshine, the lifestyle in terms of purchasing the lifestyle, the cost of living was much, much lower. And also the history and the remoteness of the island in some respects, undiscovered, you know, was great. Apart from the fact that the property market has done particularly well, especially when you compare the global recession and the crash period, it's been fairly resilient, and it's a fairly new market. And I was attracted to that. One of the deciding factors was also the security of the island. You know, here you feel really part of a community, whether it's the local people or the English community that's here, and it's very safe. You know, people don't lock their cars, they don't lock their front doors, you know, there is very little crime, if any, here, if you compare it to Europe and say the UK, and it's a very free and easy life in that respect. Flights have got better over time, but there's two choices in terms of flights to the UK, or from the UK, sorry. One is flying into Lefkosa or Ercan, which is in the north side, and that's about a 5.5 hour flight, you know, with a short stop in Istanbul, where you don't get off the plane, and then about a half an hour taxi drive to Girne Karinia, the main town on the coast. Or you can go through the south side, Larnaca, which is about a 4.5 hour flight, but then you've got the longer taxi drive, about an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes to the north. There's lots to do here on the island, I found, and there's fantastic sandy beaches. You know, it's very much an outdoor life here. Where I came from and spent 26 years of my life in the UK, most of your life was indoor. And here everything's set up for you to be outdoors. You know, there's places for the kids, water parks, there's great user-friendly beaches and pool areas for the family. And it's very much towards outdoor lifestyle, which is what I liked. Yeah, I mentioned the weather system as being one of the deciding factors for me, and I think if you're buying property anywhere, it has to be on your list. You know, we're now sitting in mid-October, and it's really autumn time, and we're still talking around about 28 degrees Celsius, you know, beautiful sunny skies, and very comfortable weather, you know. The food in Cyprus is fantastic. It's very rustic, it's very traditional and Mediterranean. You know, olives, halloumi cheese, you know, meze, and they have here a full kebab if you're really hungry, which is fantastic. And the food's great, very natural and good for you. If somebody was looking to come to the island or to buy a property, whether it be for holiday let or for residential purposes, I would say you need to do your homework really well. or work with people that are going to assist you to do your homework well. So I would recommend strongly that you come and visit the island and obtain the information that you need in order to make the correct and most suitable decision for you and your investment. Well, I've dealt with a lot of the agencies on the island, having been here since 2006 periodically, and now a year being resident here. And you know, they're all user-friendly and open to business, international business, as well as the lawyers and what have you, all set up to help the process, and they have a proper legal system here to follow. But I would recommend Alaska Development. I've worked with them for quite some time now, and they're very focused, very client service orientated, and one very big plus is their after-sales service, which is second to none. So you've got a really good track to follow and a support system that is also legal, you know, a legal system that helps you to obtain your title properly, and you've got their projects are well maintained, and that's been a big problem certainly early on the island. There's some lovely developments, but if they aren't maintained properly, you know, they can decline. So the developments that Alaska Development recommends are backed up by support systems and a great after-sales service for the customer. Another deciding factor for me was the fact that you know, Cyprus has a great history, but it was also a British colony. So, you know, it's user-friendly. There's square pin plugs, you know, there's driving on the left-hand side of the road, the beer is cheap, and there's a real community feel here. Apart from, you know, the local people being really friendly, and the service in the restaurants and the service industry is really good, there's a good British community here. And so there's various sites that are run to help people understand any questions they have. You know, we celebrate all of the British holidays here, and so it feels like home from home, really, which is great. It's not just the British side as well, it's very cosmopolitan. There are lots of different nationalities now coming to the island as the property market is moving rapidly, and the island is expanding. You've got, you know, people from the Nordic countries, Norway, Sweden, Russia, Moscow, and Spain, Italy. So there's a real hub of people now starting to discover the island and to come and buy properties as a second home, or to use the properties for a period of the year where the winters are very harsh in the countries that they are residing in. So you know, it makes a lot of sense in that respect. But we get to meet a lot of people from different countries. And it's quite a, you know, if you look at the island, it appears remote, it's undiscovered, it's not out in the open in the same way that some of the European islands are, you know, Greece and Spain and what have you, but Mallorca, Menorca. But when people come here, they realize that there's a whole world going on and that there's a lot of international influence coming through to the island. The island is packed with history, dating right the way back through the Ottoman times. And there's so much to do, whether it's for the family or whether it's sightseeing that you want to gather some history. There's ruins at almost every side of the island. You know, even here in the harbour, there's the main castle, St. Hilarion, and there's some fantastic sites to go and visit. You know, a whole realm of different things, including some fantastic boat trips for the family, and sea swimming, snorkeling, diving, you know, lots of really good things to obtain from the island. Well, the climate is conducive to good health, apart from the food and the weather. And in fact, the medical industry here has taken off in the last 10 years. And a lot of people are coming to the island to receive medical treatment, but also to reside here for periods of time because, you know, they may suffer from asthma and from different ailments, and the weather here supports them, you know, arthritis and other things like that. But the medical industry here is now phenomenal, with some of the private hospitals at incredibly, you know, good prices compared to the UK and what have you, where people are even coming here to receive treatment and having a holiday. So that side's improved. But it's a great place. The longer you get to know the island, the more people you get to meet from foreign countries that are residing here, but are still business people. When I was in London, it was 15, 16 hours a day, solid work. Go to work in the dark, come back in the dark, and a very, very tough regime that was mostly work. Here, business is done in a social way, and there's a lot of people that are doing international business but residing on the island and still running businesses with overseas clients and visiting the UK and visiting their home countries, whether it's Italy or Scandinavia, but also residing here and going over and doing business. And it's very conducive to that. The flight times aren't long, and it's much easier lifestyle. It doesn't limit you to think that you're residing here and you haven't got the open avenues to do business elsewhere. You have. The Wi-Fi is very good here. The technology systems are set up well. Your links and communication ability is very, very good. You're only really an hour and a quarter from Larnaca in the south, and you're only 30 minutes from the south to the border at Nicosia. So you can travel to Europe within 30 minutes. Which is a fantastic thing. Or you can fly straight out from the island if you prefer that. But so many of the people coming to the island now, initially, was the retired people and people escaping the bad weather for a period of time to have a second home. And an investment, of course. But now I'm meeting a lot more people that are younger as well, from almost all the generations that are actually doing business and residing on the island. And it's conducive to that. It's really good. If you look at the island, one of the other factors that I think is really important is understanding, if you're going to come and live here, what the education infrastructure is like and the support systems for family. I've got a little boy, and I know many friends who've got older kids than mine that are going to very good schools, and the university system here is very good with the Gurney American University and other universities. Great places to get your qualifications, and if you need to then go overseas and you're recognized there. English is the second language, so most people speak English, so it's easy to communicate. But also, for the kids, it's a great infrastructure for nursery schools, lower, medium and upper education is supported very well here, and it's very similar to the UK system, in terms of examination and going on to university. It's great. Other aspects of the island are its natural beauty, which really caught my eye. There's some fantastic sandy beaches and turquoise waters, clear turquoise waters that are great to experience for the family, and going down, enjoying the wildlife, bird sanctuaries, the turtle population along the panhandle of North Cyprus. A lot of it is very heavily protected and is still very natural, so all of that you don't really find so close to Europe anymore, because I think, the markets have changed. There's been huge construction. We know that in Spain and in parts of Greece and what have you, where people mainly go. So it's very natural and is absolutely great. A great education for kids, whether it's for holiday or for, if you're residing here. It's been my pleasure to talk today about the island and my experience, and I look forward to many more years enjoying the island. And I encourage you to come over, even if it's for a holiday, to have a look around. There's great opportunities apart from holiday, great investment opportunities here. Property market is doing well and is resilient against the previous crash and the global European economy. Come and have a look and see what you think, experience it. And even if you are just coming over to have a look at property, make sure you come over rather than trying to buy from abroad. Make the time and the effort and you'll get the rewards, I'm sure. Anyway, cheers.